So, it's not very loud, I know, but let's deal with this. In this video, I'll answer the question that someone asked. Is it bad to edge? Is edging bad? Not at all. So, here you have the equinoxes. Why I show this? Because edging is very, very spiritual. Like, it's just like that. People who edge or who've done it, who edge, have a different way to think than the average person. They just think on another plane of vibrancy because edging is deeply spiritual and so powerful. So in this, I showed the equinoxes, and you might wonder why. Since edging is spiritual, you know, all that is spiritual is linked to energy and the movement of the stars, the planets, and the whole galactic system in a way. So in this, I'm going to show you basically uh, when edging is pro and when it's not. Like basically the energy work behind edging. But edging is perfectly fine, and edging has to do with if you've seen the chakras, which I'm about to show you here. I've prepared everything. Here you can see on the chakras. Edging has to do not with this chakra. This is the Mulahara, the root chakra, and you have the sacral chakra, you have the Manipura chakra, you have the heart chakra, and then you have these above chakras and more, much more. That's the chakras that edging has to do with. So, if someone edge, I'm going to tell you for sure you're going to open your heart chakra, and it's going to allow you to access all the chakras all the way, especially these chakras, these higher chakras that has to do with the spiritual life, spiritual dimensions, and higher planes of consciousness, and just pretty much intelligence that is not that is beyond this plane of existence, kinda ish, visions and shit like that. So this is what edging has to do with. Edging, transmutation, same shit. So when you edge, um, it has to do with the higher chakras, mainly this. But it opens the heart chakra, and it gives access to raise the consciousness beyond beyond like these planes of planes of perceptions, because these are all planes of perception. If you're on the root chakra, you're perceiving things from the root chakra, and each rise in consciousness is good because when you rise slightly in consciousness, you have the view of above. So if you're dealing with matters of the root chakra, if you rise to the sacral chakra, one chakra above, you have an easier time because you see things from above, not from in like in the problem or stuck in the problem, but you have a view that is above the problem, which is good. And so you have it here, like even here, like when you do edging, you access the highest spiritual chakras that one can possibly tap into, and this of course allows your consciousness to reach the highest of chakras, meaning the highest plane of perception. This in turn enables you to function much better because all the negative, some call it, we call it lower, vibrations, views are completely disintegrated, completely removed, and your consciousness is free to look at stuff from above, which is the goal of spiritual life. So here you have the chakras, and then let's go back to this. So before you even think about edging, I should tell you to do one thing: go vegan. Go vegan. I hope you can see it here. Just shirts. But go vegan. I'm just kidding. You don't have to go vegan. But you're going to have to cleanse your diet. You're going to have to cleanse your diet because it's not happening with a meat-based diet. And you understand why it's not happening with a meat-based diet. It's because edging has to do with the highest pure spiritual chakras, and when you're working with those chakras, the level of empathy is so high that even eating animal meat is forbidden. But because like if you take animal meat when you are vibrating on the crown chakra, it's not good. It can even be harmful because that crown chakra has that level of purity. Chakras has levels of purity. Demands they impose on the user. If you want to vibrate on this chakra, you must respect the rules of this chakra. You must maintain the vows of purity that has to do with that chakra in particular, especially the higher chakras. So it's kind of like a responsibility. Don't eat meat, clear your diet. You can go vegan if you want to go pro, but luckily, don't worry about being without protein because you can eat all the fish you want to. It's kind of weird, what, right? You cannot eat meat, but you can eat all the fish you want to. And basically, seafood is perfectly fine because spiritually it's not considered as meat. So it's fine. And of course, when I transmute, I eat fish just to supplement my muscles. So that you can also do. You can adopt a pescatarian diet. You can eat all the fish you want, but not meat, especially meat from animals that you will find on land. I think we are not like meat from animals you will find on land is taboo. Taboo. Don't eat if you're going to edge. If you're going to transmute. If you're going to transmute, just try. You can do it, and then you can release the energy. But if you're going to transmute pro, like I'm going to teach you, just forget meat altogether. So now that you've taken your vow of purity, let's just show purity. Now that you've taken your vow of purity, yeah, purity. That you say I'm going to be pure. I'm not going to take animal meat or harmful products in my body. I'm going to watch my diet and make sure that I am spiritually aligned with the planet. Then I can teach you this. So this is the heart of it all. Even with your diet, you need to know the times. So we all know spirituality has to do with the movement of the stars and all that, and so good. I advise you learn some astrology. Of course, you have your 12 zodiac signs, but that's not to do with this. With this, I'll just show you the two equinoxes. Why? Because when you're working with the crown chakra or with the chakras above, you're working with a certain polarity. And of course, the earth, when the seasons change, it's also significant because when the seasons change, like your access to the higher like planes of existence is limited. depending on which season, and in some seasons it's in abundance. So why I'm showing this is so that you learn, like when the spiritual portal is fully open, so that you can have the most of your spiritual experience, because the portal is open, the garden to Eden is open, but it's not open all year long, so you have to know this. It's just like that. The Garden of Eden is not open all year long. So, if you want to take your journey further to the higher spiritual dimensions, you're going to have to observe this September equinox. Why this equinox? And even like the months near it, you can already access. Near the equinox, you can already access this type of like spirituality when like the planet is aligned, so that you can transmute and evolve your consciousness. Why I show this? Because this is when the planet's axis will be aligned, pointing towards the North Star, and that's what you want. If you study astrology, you want to go towards your North Node, kind of like ish, but this is when it will point toward the North Star. Why is it so important? When like the planet's energy is pointing towards the north, it is important because, as you can see, north means, up. Meaning up, you're going to work with these chakras. And it is easy when the planet's alignment is supporting you in doing so, when you're working with the flow of energy, which is good, which you will be doing on this equinox. You will be properly aligned. So all energy works you can begin around this time. And this is kind of like August, late, already in August. It's kind of like good. It's kind of like good because the portal is already open. The portal to Eden is already open for those who want to enter early. But if you want to enter like very good, that's when the equinox comes, like the earth is aligned, pointing towards the North Star, and you can properly evolve your consciousness. Why I say this? Because it is like a dragon which awakens this time. And this is when you can work with the dragon to awaken your consciousness and have the promises, the vitality of the dragon and all the might that the dragon promises. And why I show this is because on the other end of the equinox, you can see the opposing equinox, the Mars equinox. That's when the dragon actually goes to sleep. So, if you understand, the dragon goes to sleep on that equinox. It means if you're going to edge, no, no, no. If you're going to transmute, no, no, no. Because the dragon is sleeping. Meaning, during this time, you will not access the highest pure spiritual energies. Not happening because you're just not aligned, like the planet's energy is just not supporting it. But this is a time of energy release. And don't worry, you will have accumulated a lot of energy during this time, because when you edge and transmute energy, you experience zero energy loss. So you can actually transmute and edge this whole time. It is pretty long, from September to what? Mars. And all that can be stored in you as spiritual energy. This will give you so much strength to do crazy, insane shit. But when this equinox comes, it is time for the release of energy. Meaning the energy is pointing not towards the north, but it is pointing towards the south. The opposing end of this. This can be seen as a natural kind of like Kali Yuga. If you Hindu, Kali Yuga means time of ignorance, kind of like ish. Because just because the portal is not open to the higher spiritual dimensions, but your consciousness will have already been evolved. But the planet is not supporting you at all to work with these chakras when that time comes. Like it's just like that. You're just not supported energetically by the planet. But you can of course edge, but it's not recommended because the spirits that will be around, since it's spiritual, you're working with spirits, it's not positive spirits. It's not going to be spirits that are of a high frequency because the dragon is sleeping. So that's kind of like it. And this means it's a time of release until you have the June equinox, which comes, oh, the June solstice. It's not equinox, it's solstice. On the June solstice, you can already start preparing your no, July solstice. I think July solstice, June solstice. You can already start like preparing your body for small nofap's and shit like that. But still, you're not fully supported for any energy works because this time is linked to the root chakra, the chakra that says get down to earth. And when you're down to earth, you cannot be in the ether, you cannot be in Eden, you cannot be in the promised land because you will be down to earth and your access to those chakras will be limited, but your consciousness will have already evolved. Meaning, even if you release your energy, there is no problem, no danger, because you've already evolved as a spiritual being. When you've done the work here, and this in turn, when the dragon goes to sleep and you release some of your spiritual energy, this prepares the Kundalini channel or the energy pathways so you can have another rise, another huge rise. And if you do it good, you can actually go along with the dragon and dance the dance of the dragon. When the dragon goes up, you are already prepared for the huge ride because it is one heck of an adventure. And when the dragon awakens, you tag along with the dragon huge and you fly high and you have all of these spiritual marvelous adventures. And then when the dragon goes to sleep, you release your energy. But it's not harmful for you because the access to the higher chakras will not be that open, but you will have already evolved as a spiritual being, meaning this time will be time for you to just ground your energy. By releasing energy, you're grounding yourself with the planet again. Almost like a journey, like going to the highest spiritual realms and then coming back to earth. But you will already be a different person because you will have already seen beyond this realm. And when you're back, you will not have any problems if you already, release the energy when it is time to work with the root chakra. Because what can happen is that you can go kind of like very worried if you still have the energy of the dragon when the dragon is asleep. Because when the dragon is asleep, the energy of the dragon is supposed to be released. And if you still have it, you can experience some weird stuff, which the list goes on and on. But that's just because the energy is not supporting you. The energy is supporting now the root chakra if you're edging. So this is why I wanted to show you this. And of course, this is also like if you want to understand like how people have thought towards in history, you can see it like this. This is the time when people have resonated the most with religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, religions that has to do with pure consciousness and pure cosmic, just consciousness, yoga and shit like that. This is the time when people have been able to do those things. And then here it's different. This is the time when people have resonated with, religions such as Christianity, Islamism, religion that is more down to earth, so to speak, but has a relationship to the divine, because this is time to ground, to come down to earth, and to stop, to just kind of like stop, because the dragon goes to sleep. And I also recommend doing your nothaps here, when the dragon is going up, because the energy is going towards the North Pole, and you're just supported overall in all energy activities. But this you should be aware of. It is a time that the energy goes down and good for energy release. And here you can see it. This is kind of like time on the cross, when Jesus says, when Jesus goes on the cross, and it's kind of like that. You can see it like that. I'm going to explain this like this so you get it good. Like, this is kind of like time on the cross. It's time to surrender, to give up energy, and just be normal, just be human, without having to worry so much about being a spiritual person. Just be human. This is the cross. Just be simple. It is time of energy release, connecting with your root chakra. So this is the time of just being simple, just easygoing, time when the great journey has ended and the cross is standing up and tall, and you're just releasing energy, just being simple. And then time goes, and when this comes, then you have this, the pyramids. They're pointing that the energy is going up now. This is good, because this now says it is time, spiritual sailor, spiritual traveler, to go up again. Because this marks the victory, that the portals are open, and you can access, and even the constellation of Orion will be potent in the star, if you have the habit of looking like this. This points the time that the portal is open, that you can access those higher dimensions of energy, and truly, tune in with the third eye chakra, crown chakra, and the chakras above, and your throat chakra, and fully open your heart chakra. So that's kind of like it. When this time comes, this is the time when the resurrection happens. When Jesus gets resurrected, when he goes up to the kingdom of Father, kind of like if you're Christian, but you can leave that aside. But this is the time of the resurrection of the dragon. The dragon is resurrected here with this. And when the dragon is resurrected, you can then access your third eye chakra and fully be in control of it, and fully be in control of your crown chakra, which will not be likely if you're doing energy work here. You will be out of alignment, out of balance with what you truly desire. So edging is really spiritual. That's how you do it. And here you have another symbol, the Ankh, which you can see the difference in energy signatures. Here you have the cross, here you have the Ankh. Why is it different? Because this, you can see the cross, you're releasing energy, you're burning, kind of like say releasing energy, just surrendering. Here you have the Ankh. The Ankh is a powerful symbol that has to do with energy halos. When a person transmutes properly, they don't release their energy, the energy starts forming a halo, meaning it's going up towards the North Star, and consciousness is evolving at such rapid speed, and the person is just so spiritually enlightened. So this is good, because this is the time when enlightenment kind of like happens. And of course, even if you get enlightened, you mean spiritually initiated, you will still experience dark times. You will still have time on the cross. It's always like that. But when the time of the end comes, you get to transmute and rise above and work with pure consciousness and just be pure and align with pure cosmic energy. And that's what this energy signature is. If you are religious, you can see in the painting of the Buddhas, Christ, they sometimes have energy halos, and this is when the dragon is awakened, and the dragon can then fully give you its potency and power, and you can do so much spiritual work. So what I recommend to do when you're edging and doing your spiritual work is documenting everything, writing down what you discover, what you see on your journey, and actually being fully prepared. And that you have it. And here you have the dragon. The great dragon. The dragon is not evil, but the dragon goes to sleep. Sometimes the dragon is not accessible. Then other cosmic energies are accessible. But it is time of release. When this comes, it is time on the cross, time of release, time of repentance, time of just giving up. And when this comes, it is time to rise because the energy is supporting it, the energy is pointing north, and your chakras can actually be fully vitalized, and this can go like phew, and then start, making a halo here and just feeding you so that you're energetically supported by the planet and the flow of energy. And that's kind of like it. And that's kind of like it. And you have to of course always maintain purity, be it moral purity, nutritional purity is observed for you to be spiritually in tune all the time. This of course does not mean that you will go completely like ignorant. No, it does not mean so. The Mars equinox does not mean so. An energy release will not make you dumb. It is good for you so that you can have another great ride with the dragon and then come back again down to earth. So that's about it on edging and spirituality. And if edging is good for you, yes, edging is good for you, but you should also know it can be bad for you because the dragon which you're supposed to travel with is not accessible all year long because the planet's energy will not always be pointing northwards. Sometimes it will be pointing towards your south node, which is north, the way north, like which is not the way towards enlightenment and all those energy works that you want to do. So if you want to be aligned and properly aligned, you can take the ride and properly, go up and down, like dance the dance of the dragon. When the dragon goes up, you go up, and you've already prepared so you can do the dance and have ascension properly, have the best of ascension when the energy is available, and go on your ascension and then come back again. Like that, you can do it properly. And this, if you follow this properly, this will allow you to properly manage your spiritual life and material life because you're doing both very good. You're working your crown chakra very good, and then when the time is coming, you're working your root chakra, your material life very good, and balancing the energy along with the flow of the planet going up and down. And of course, this when you do this, you will be fully supported and you can have the best of spiritual life. And of course, here now we're already in the month of July. Like some like really good can already access in the month of July. Like now it's July 15th. Like you can already start some energy works, like edging and shit like that. But the portal is not fully open. So you just know. You can already start here in July, but the portal is not fully open because it's not fully pointing towards the North Star. But you can already start some small energy works, but not like full transmutation as you want to. But when this comes, you can fully transmute your energy and fully reap the rewards of paradise, because it is paradise. And this, of course, explains it. So that you have it: purity, dragon, sleep, and and uh, and uh, and awakening. Sleep and awakening. That's kind of like it. So that's it. I'm going to cut this now.